Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Storytime. I'm so glad you joined me today. My name is Toby, and we'll just jump right in and get started by saying hello, and we'll do bread and butter. Are you ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as fast as we can. Wow, that one was really fast. Good job. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as slow as we can. Hello. Good job. All right, you ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as high as we can. Hello. Good job. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as low as we can. Hello. Good job. All right, ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as loud as we can. Hello. Good job. All right. The opposite of loud is soft. So we'll do the last one softly, but we'll do the whole thing softly. Ready? Bread and butter, marmalade and jam. Let's say hello as soft as we can. Hello. Good job. All right. Can I see your hands? Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Give a little clap, clap, clap. Open them, shut them, open them, shut them. Lay them on your lap, lap, lap. Creep them, creepy, creepy, creep them. Right up to your chin, chin, chin. Open wide your little mouth. But do not let them in. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, just like this. Roll them, roll them, roll them, roll them. Blow a little kiss. Mwah! Good job, everybody. All right, well, our alphabet is up today, as it is per usual, and there are usually 26 letters in the alphabet, but what? One of them is missing. Can you guys see where it's at? Where's the missing one? Is it right here? Yeah, I think so. So it's the second letter of the alphabet, and it comes after A. Is it T? No. P? No. C? No, C's there. C's third. But the second letter of the alphabet is B. And that's the letter for today because we have stories about bedtime. That sounds good to me. All right, we've got our alphabet all put together. So that means we can sing the alphabet song. Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time we'll sing with me. Good job, everybody. Give yourself a round of applause. And before we start our stories, let's do our stretch. Ready? We're gonna do a great big stretch out wide. A great big stretch up tall. Give yourself a hug. You deserve it. Why don't you touch your nose? Touch your knee. Why don't you tap your elbow? How about you pull on your ears? One more big stretch out wide. A big stretch up tall. And a deep breath. Ready? All right, we're ready to go with our bedtime stories. I'm very excited today. We have a plethora of stories about different people and animals trying to go to sleep and the problems that they encounter. And we're going to have a lot of fun. All right, there's our board and we're ready. The first one is a story called Too Noisy. A long time ago, there was an old man. His name was Peter, and he lived in an old house. But the bed creaked, the floor squeaked, outside the wind blew the leaves through the trees. Whoosh! The leaves fell on the roof. Swish, swish, swish. The tea kettle whistled. Hiss, hiss. Too noisy, said Peter. So Peter decided to go see the wise man of the village. When he got to the wise man, he said, "What can I do? My bed creaks, my floor squeaks, the wind blows, the leaves fall on the roof, swish, swish, swish. My tea kettle hisses, sss, sss." And the wise man said, "I can help you. I know what you can do." Peter said, "What can I do?" And the wise man said, "Get a cow and put him in your house." "But what good is a cow?" said Peter. But Peter got that cow anyhow. And he put that cow right inside his house. And that night when Peter lay down to go to bed, the cow said, "Moo." The bed creaked, the floor squeaked, the wind blew, whoosh, whoosh. The leaves fell on the roof, swish, swish, swish. The tea kettle hissed, hiss, hiss. "Too noisy," said Peter, and he went back to the wise man. That time, the wise man told Peter to get himself a horse. "But what good is a horse?" said Peter. But Peter got that horse anyhow, and he put that horse right inside his house. And that night, the horse went neigh, and the cow went moo, and the bed creaked, and the floor squeaked, and the wind blew whoosh, whoosh, and the leaves fell on the roof swish, 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 and the tea kettle hissed, hiss, hiss. "Still too noisy," said Peter. So Peter went back to the wise man. The wise man said, "I can fix your problem. All you need to do is get a sheep and put him inside your house." "But what good is a sheep?" said Peter. But Peter went and got a sheep anyhow and put the sheep in his house. That night when Peter was going to sleep, the sheep went baa, the horse went neigh, the cow went moo, the bed squeaked, the floor creaked, leaves fell on the roof, swish, swish, the tea kettle hissed, hiss, hiss. Still too noisy. So Peter went back to the wise man. And the wise man said, "Your problem isn't solved yet, but I can help. What you need to do is get yourself a chicken and put the chicken in your house." "But what good will a chicken do?" said Peter. But he went and got that chicken anyway. And he put the chicken inside the house. And that night when Peter went down to go to sleep, the chicken went bark, 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 bark. The sheep went baa, baa. The horse went neigh. The cow went moo. The floor squeaked and the bed creaked and the wind blew through the trees. Whoosh. The leaves fell on the house. Swish, swish. And the teapot hissed. Hiss, hiss. Still too noisy. Well, Peter was pretty upset at that point. He went to the wise man and he said, I told you my house was too noisy. I told you my bed creaks. The leaves fall on the roof. Swish, swish. The tea kettle whistles. Hiss, hiss. You told me to get a cow. All day the cow says moo. You told me to get a horse. All day the horse says neigh, neigh. You told me to get a sheep. All day the sheep goes baa, baa. You told me to get a chicken. All day the chicken goes bok, 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 bok. I am going crazy. The wise man said, Peter, why don't you do what I tell you? Let the cow go. Let the horse go. Let the sheep go. And let the chicken go. And so that's exactly what Peter did. When he laid down to go to sleep that night, there was no cow that said moo. There was no horse that said neigh. There was no sheep that said baa. There was no chicken that went rock, 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 rock. The bed creaked. Ah, what a quiet noise, said Peter. The floor squeaked. Ah, what a quiet noise, said Peter. Outside the wind blew and leaves fell on the roof. Swish, swish. Inside the tea kettle whistled. Hiss, hiss. Ah, how quiet my house is, said Peter. The end. That was a good one. That was really silly. I like that one. Can you imagine having all those animals in your house and trying to go to sleep? Bah, bah. Not me. All right. Well, we can stand up and do a little song, a little movement. Are you ready? Last night and the night before, a lemon and a pickle came knocking at my door. I ran downstairs to let them in, and they threw me in the garbage bin. What? Ready? Last night and the night before, a chocolate chip came knocking at my door. I ran downstairs to let it in, and it threw me in the cookie tin. What? No good. Last night and the night before, a big noisy cow came knocking at my door. I didn't go down to let it in. I fell asleep with a great big grin. All right. We're going to keep things moving here. I've got a book to tell you a story, and this is another bedtime story, and it is called Go to Sleep, Gekko. One night, Elephant was awakened. He heard a loud noise right under his window. Gekko, Gekko, Gekko. Gekko, what are you doing here? Said Elephant. It's the middle of the night. Go home and go to bed. Well, I can't sleep, said Gekko. The fireflies are flitting all around my house. They're blinking their lights on and off, on and off. You've got to make them stop. You're the village boss. Do something about it. I'll talk to the fireflies in the morning, said Elephant. Now go home and go to bed. Gekko dragged himself grumpily home. Gekko, Gekko, Gekko. Next morning, Elephant called the fireflies. Is it true that you've been flashing your lights on and off all night long? Have you been keeping Gekko awake? Oh yes, said the fireflies. We have to blink our lights on and off all night. Buffalo leaves his mud all over the road. Without our lights, someone would step in the mess. Why, that is very thoughtful of you, said Elephant. Just keep on doing what you've been doing. You can go home now. So, the fireflies went home. That night, at midnight, Elephant was awakened again. Gekko, Gekko, Gekko. Elephant leaned out his window. Gekko, go home and go to bed. But I can't sleep. The fireflies are still blinking their lights on and off, on and off. You said you'd make them stop. Gekko, the fireflies need to blink their lights. Buffalo leaves mud all over the road. Without their lights, someone might step in it. Well, then go talk to Buffalo. You're the village boss. Do something about it. In the morning, Elephant called Buffalo. Buffalo, is it true you've been putting mud all over the road? Oh yeah, rain washes holes in the road every afternoon and I just fill them up the best way I know how. If I didn't do that, someone could stumble in the holes and get hurt. Well, that's a very thoughtful of you, Buffalo. Just keep doing what you've been doing. You can go home now. So Buffalo went home. That night, at midnight, Elephant was awakened again. Gekko, Gekko, Gekko. Elephant leaned out his window. Gekko, will you please go home and go to bed? I can't sleep. The fireflies are still blinking their lights on and off, on and off. You said you'd do something about it. Gekko, let me explain. Buffalo fills up the holes that rain washes out. The fireflies light the road so no one steps in Buffalo's mess. You'll just have to put up with the fireflies. Well, go talk to Rain. You're the village boss. Do something about it, said Gekko. In the morning, Elephant called Rain. Is it true that you wash holes in the road every afternoon? Oh yes, I rain very hard every afternoon to make puddles for the mosquitoes. If the puddles dried up, the mosquitoes would die, and if the mosquitoes died, there would be nothing for Gekko to eat. So I rain very hard every day. I see, said Elephant. Rain, you may go home. That night at midnight, Elephant was awakened. Gekko, Gekko, Gekko. He leaned out his window. Gekko, go home and go to bed. I still can't sleep. The fireflies are blinking their lights on and off, on and off. You said you'd do something about it. Gekko, listen carefully. If rain doesn't rain every afternoon, there will be no puddles. If there are no puddles, there will be no mosquitoes. If there are no mosquitoes, you, Gekko, will have nothing to eat. Now, what do you think about that? Gekko thought, if Elephant told rain to stop raining, Buffalo could stop filling the holes, and the fireflies could stop flashing their lights, but Gekko would have nothing to eat. Gekko, said Elephant, this world is all connected. Some things you just have to put up with. Now go home and go to sleep. So Gekko went home. He closed his eyes and he went to sleep. Outside, the fireflies blinked on and off, on and off. Some things you just have to put up with. The end. Good listening, everybody. I like that one because I like Gekko. He's a cool character. All right, do you want to stand up? We'll do another song for our next story. Ready? A zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. A zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. A zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Good job. Let's do it one more time. Ready? A zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. A zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. If you'd like to take a trip, climb aboard my rocket ship. A zoom, 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 we're going to the moon. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off! Good job, everybody. All right. Can I see your hands? Ready? I've got 10 fingers. They all belong to me. I can make them do things. Do you want to see? I can make them jump high. I can make them jump low. I can fold them tight and hold them just so. I can squeeze them tight. I can open them wide. I can wave them all around. I can make them all hide. I can make them jump high. I can make them jump low. I can fold them tight and hold them just so. All right, we've got one more story for everybody. This one is called A Bed Just So. Whoops, 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 whoops. Once upon a time, there once was a tailor who could not finish his work. He fell asleep every day because he couldn't fall asleep at night. Every night when he went to bed, someone or something stomped up and down the hallway. Boom, 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 boom. Someone or something grumbled and complained. Then someone or something pulled the cover off his bed. "This cannot go on," said the tailor. So the tailor went to talk with the wise woman in town. "I'm witched," said the tailor. "Please do something." The wise woman said, "You're not witched. If you were witched, your hair would be on upside down. If you were witched, your feet would be on backwards. If you were witched, well, I believe that a hudgeon has moved into your house. The hudgeon needs a bed. Once the hudgeon has a bed, he will leave you alone." So the tailor thought long and hard, and he said, "Well, I will buy a beautiful oak bed for the hudgeon." He put the oak bed in his house, and he said, "There, I've made you a bed. Now please leave my bed alone." That night he heard, "Stomp, stomp, 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 stomp." And then he heard a voice saying, "Too high, too hard, too high, too hard." And then his covers flew off. Well, that bed wasn't good for the hudgeon. So the next night, the tailor found a velvet chaise lounge, put it in his house, and he laid ferns and feathers all over the chaise. "Here you go. It's a new bed," said the tailor. "Now please leave my bed alone." Well, that night the tailor heard stomp, 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 stomp. And then he heard a voice saying, "Too soft, too tickly, too soft, too tickly." And off flew the tailor's covers. It seemed like the hudgeon was not happy with that bed either. So the tailor set up a bed for the hudgeon inside a cupboard. He said, "Okay, Hudgen, I made you a cozy bed. Please leave my bed alone." That night, he heard stop, 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 stop. And then he heard a voice saying, "Too dark, too stuffy, too dark, too stuffy." And the tailor's covers flew off. He was getting pretty exhausted at this point, but he still wasn't sleeping. So the tailor tied a hammock in between two chairs. And that night, when he went to bed, he heard stop, 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 stop. Too long, too loose, too long, too loose. Before the covers flew off the bed, the tailor got up. He went right out to the wood shop and built a cradle for the Hudgen. He lined it with soft blankets and put it in the house. Right when he was about to lay down to bed, he heard stop, 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 stop. Too teeter, too totter, too teeter, too totter. The Hudgen was still not satisfied. "Oh, it's the middle of the night," said Taylor. "I haven't slept a wink. I don't know what I'm going to do." So the tailor went into the kitchen for a snack. He grabbed a bowl full of walnuts and was cracking them open to eat the nuts when he looked at one of the walnut shells. He had an idea. The shell looked like a tiny bed, so he lined it with cotton and peach fuzz and a small velvety leaf on top. He placed the little tiny bed on the windowsill and he waited. Soon there was a little soft hum coming from the tiny bed. When the tailor peeked in, there was the Hudgen, no bigger than a caraway seed. As he leaned closer, he heard the Hudgen singing, "Just so, I like a bed just so." And that night, the tailor and the Hudgen got a good night's sleep. The end. Good listening, everybody. I really like the Hudgen. He's very picky about where he sleeps. I'm not, but the Hudgen is. Well, that looks like that's our story time for today. So, to sign us off, why don't we dance any way you want to? You ready? Dance any way you want to. Dance any way you please. Dance any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Is everybody stopping? Everybody freezing? Okay, cool. Why don't we march? Ready? March any way you want to. March any way you please. March any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Good job. Why don't we twist? Ready? Twist any way you want to. Twist any way you please. Twist any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. All right. Let's dance one more time. You ready? Dance any way you want to. Dance any way you please. Dance any way you want to. Stop when I say freeze. Good job, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much for joining me on today's story time, and I will see you next time. Bye.